These cards are in the Florida Reading Research, and they're on cardstock and they're laminated. So you would put them in a 3-ring binder. This is a really good center activity, but you could do it pretty easily with whole group under the document camera, or even as a class. I mean, you don't even necessarily have to use these cards. I'm sure we probably all have alphabet cards that are even bigger that we could use whole class. But the purpose is for the kids to just practice sounding out words and then changing the letter to see if changing the first, or really any letter, whatever phonics skill you're focusing on, to sound out words and see if it's making a real word or a nonsense word. So if you were doing it as a whole group activity, you would flip them, have the kids sound out the words together as a class, and then talk about whether or not we've heard the word before, seen the word before, whether it's in any of the books, to see if it's real or nonsense. At a center activity, you would just give the students a record sheet so that as they do this together in their small group and they're sounding out the words, they could be writing it down on a record sheet. And then as an assessment, you could pull the students one-on-one, or even in a small group, if you had, you could make a couple sets of these with copies. If it's a small group, you can just make them. You would have to make them have to be laminated or whatever. But you could have them flip the cards, read the words, write them if the instructions say to write them if it's a real word. So if it's a nonsense word, they would not write the word on the record sheet. They would just skip it and go to the next word. And so you can have them, you know, if you're working on beginning sounds and you're only focusing on short A, then you might change the beginning sound or the ending sound. If you're doing a review of all of the vowel sounds, then you could obviously change the middle sound to see if the word is real or nonsense.